Alright, so I'm doing this because it was necessary for me to do this all over again. Never beat this game, actually never played this game. I have heard stories about this game, so I'm gonna get into this game. I'm gonna get the details about this game and everything I need to know about this game. My videos are gonna be short because I'm going to get into the story, the mechanics of the game, so on and so forth with regards to the game. See how everything with regards to the actual content of the game is related towards historical figures and historical lore, as well as fun factor of the game. So there are major things that this game has to accomplish to be considered actually a good game. And one of the main reasons I decided to jump into it is because this has to do with ancient Arcadia, the most ancient civilization of human history. What some might argue it isn't, but to be honest with you, there really hasn't. I mean, anything that has to do with Africa or Cambodia, so on and so forth, they haven't dug deep in regards towards the word civilization, as in cities and civilization. Now, I think that has to go towards the Middle Eastern Mesopotamian. So I'm very fascinated why they chose that area. I'm also very fascinated where the story might go from here on after, and where things might go in the future for this company. And the next story is something that has to do with Devil in Me or something like that. But I want to see how they're going to wrap it up. So far, the first one, Man of Medan, was bad. The second one, Little Hope, was a little better, but it wasn't actually that good. Through this trilogy, or if you want to consider the next one, Devil in Me, this anthology, because it is an anthology, um, yeah, I would say this is the best one so far. So if the next one that comes out, Devil in Me, is actually crap, that means out of an entire anthology, House of Ashes is probably the only one that's good. Now, with regards to this company, Supermassive, I think a lot of recognition. And then there was Until Dawn. I think Until Dawn is their most successful favorite game that they've created. One, because this was a start cast. Two, just because the story was actually good and composed, even though the actions weren't that great, but the story was better than most of their stories before that. Three, the monsters and intensity and jump scares were good. So they actually were able to accomplish certain things in that story from a psychological, from a horror, from a perspective, from a fundamental lore, from a slasher film, so on and so forth. So my internet are already acting up, so let me just cut the chatter and just get into this game and see what it is. I'll probably judge it towards the middle, um, near the middle, or so on and so forth, and towards the end as well. If I see anything related towards that movie, um, uh, Life Force, because I believe the type of monster in here is kind of similar to the enemies in Life Force story. They're not very similar. I want to find all the similarities they have towards ancient lore, ancient mythology, and our current lore, our current mythology, how they meld those two things together. That's the only reason I'm playing it. One, historical reference. Two, because someone had told me that the kind of monsters in here are kind of like the monsters from Life Force. I want to see how much of that is true, because that was one badass movie and crazy. It would have been crazy if they actually did Life Force and kind of forced it into this, any of the copyright infringement or anything. If there are agreements, so if they were to do something bonkers and use something like the type of monsters in there, I would be able to see that this is probably the best game. I doubt it is, but I have a very strong feeling that some of the stuff from life will be found within this game. That's if you like. So let me just jump into it right now, and then adjust things as I go along. So I'm not gonna speak. I'm not gonna speak on the interactive menu and all these stuff. I'll do this towards the end of the game, or maybe I should do it real quick right now to get it done and out the way real quick. One, interact for the rollovers and interactive on the menus. Two, when you switch to settings, you get a spam type of thing, or not spam, but traveling mechanics towards the animation, panning. So that's good. That's a point two. Point three, once you select the object or whatever it is, you select the button and you go into the button mesh, you'll be able to increase things fast, decrease things fast, adjust, save settings, so on and so forth. Accessibilities, turn on certain things on, off, that works as well. So that's also point three. From the menu point of view, I like the whole pan thing. And also from let's see, from the main menu, the atmosphere of the actual game, the lighting, the darkness, and placement of colors and everything regards to the type of world it is. The Grim Reaper type of world, the black, the white, the combination of a little gray in there and some brown, and also collectibles or certain things that you could collect. I don't. Okay, so the collectible window is not as best as the one that in Until Dawn, so I won't take that much away from it or anything away from it for that point. I'll look at bonus features. Now the animation stuff for the person and his body is good. The movement of the body, the shadows on the body is good. The color usage to represent the color on the person's skin is good. The skeleton underneath the skin is also good. There's no glowing effects. It's very light, very not very damp, very pale. Opacity is also good as well. The shirt is not that good. Roll up into the corner under the pockets. Seems like it's curved more like a animation step that from 3D modeling rather than the realistic nature of how shirts are supposed to be come down more. So that's the only takeaway from that. But overall, the actual design of the characters, the ears, the head, the hair, and everything set on the characters are actually good. Also, the skeletons, the bone seen on the skeletons, is good. The colors of fabric is also good as well. I should get into more detail about that, but that's not something that's too much for me to worry about. So that's a 0.4 and a 0.5 for actual details into the clothing. So not details also on the skin, but details on the clothing as well of the main characters. And movement animation for the characters are actually good, so that's a 0.6. Yeah, they don't move sloppy, and actually, like I said, lighting, drop shadows, and so on and so forth on objects and everything. That's also good, such as and design of books, design of things and structures of books and walls and shelves and pay attention to details, positioning, and the lighting effects on those are actually good as well. So that's also another point. So that's a point 0.7 right there. So, and there are also options of different things that you could choose from. Like once you select certain bonus features, you get to see the bonus features to the additional things within the game. So you get to have bonus features in the game. You get to have, let's see what other additional stuff you get to have in the game. You have bonus features, you have collectibles. But most games have bonus features and collectibles. So I won't say that's I won't say that's a big deal or anything. That's something most games have, so I ain't worrying about that. And you also get to review certain games from previous. You get to go to PlayStation Store and see other games. I like that the fact that they can put it inside this game to show that the previous games are part of the Dark Pictures anthology. Little Hope, and then there's this one, and then the last one will be Devil in Me, which hasn't been shown yet. But that's not something that's that big of a deal. So I'm staying at a 0.7, and then we'll move forward and again from there on. So so far everything's good, nothing's too bad. Slight takeaway from the shirt that he was wearing on the realism, but who knows? We'll see how things play out. So I'm at a 0.7 right now and play the game. Start.
Silence! Your words are meaningless here. Your blood will pay the debt our king demands. Your sacrifice will lift his curse from our land.
General Barato, forgive me, my lord. The king demands your urgent presence.
The gods smile on you. For now. Take this one back to his cell. I'll deal with him later.
You're in luck, Gutian.
Luck? No. No luck for these dogs.
General, we should leave this place. The king, his madness threatens to swallow us all. This temple is cursed.
I'd rather die in this cursed house than perish to the plague and famine out there. We have our orders, Captain.
The moon god sent you to destroy my kingdom. I know it, girl. I see everything. Look around you. Is this hall not famous enough for my mistakes? Do the gods not bask in its glory? The Gutians are coming, General. The moon god sends an army to destroy us.
I shall muster our forces immediately.
Good. And what news from below?
There are hundreds of prisoners, my king. Their sacrifice will take time.
Time is no longer in our hands. No matter. The blood of this army will nourish the sands. The sacrifice will be fulfilled. Starting with this one. Tell me, General, does she remind you of anyone?
My king?
Do you not see a hint of your own daughter in her? What age would she have been now?
18.
18. What a tragedy this plague has been. Kill her.
My king, would it not be wise to keep the girl alive? She's an enemy scout. We could learn the Gutian's plans.
No. Every drop of blood brings us closer to salvation. She must die. You've spent too long killing the calves in our cells, Balatu. You've lost your edge.
Just a girl. Nothing but a girl.
A girl? I see only a Gutian demon.
If you cannot kill in my name, General, then perhaps you can die for it. Fight well.
Alright, here's the thing. You loser ass fucking douchebag ass Russian motherfuckers. Keep throwing your porn ass bullshit on my live chat. You may have the freedom to do that shit if you want. Because there's no rules that actually block you from those things. Even though I post up certain blocks. But I'm gonna make sure I go back into my settings and see if I could find a way to block you fucking faggots. Alright? I don't give a fuck about you shaking your ass and showing your tits and shit. Alright? You wanna do that? Go right ahead. On my video, I'm telling you right away so everyone could hear it. Who's ever gonna look at it who's not associated with you pieces of shit. Put your stuff inside my video. You shake your ass, you piece of garbage human being. Go right ahead. Alright? From my words to your fucking ears. You're a piece of shit human being. This is meant for gamers, not for you poof fucking Caesar society. Dirtbags.
Gods give me strength.
We've been cursed. Our king has cursed us all. I thought you were the demons. We were wrong. My king sacked the temple at the pool. He builds this temple to call for forgiveness. But the gods don't listen.
And now he too is silent.
Even my daughter's death couldn't wake me to the truth. I followed a fool into the abyss.
Don't let his ruin become ours. This is your temple. What can we do?
There is a way out through the catacombs.
You think I should trust you?
You have no choice. Help me with this. is a way out through this tomb.
Tomb?
Yes. For the builders when they're done. Come.
An Akkadian? Scared of a rodent? I have seen it all now.
All this death. For nothing. They died in vain. For a mad king. are cursed by our own actions.
Why did your king raid the temple?
Same story that history has taught us. For gold, for glory.
For greed.
Here, help me with this.
You first.
We're safe down here.
You first.
What is this that adorns you?
The history of Gutian. You Akkadians fought hard to destroy our people. But mark my words, our story has just begun. How do we get out of here alive?
Worry about your own hide, and I'll look after mine.